Okay, so just a little bit of background on this box. Now, as you'll see, she's a little beat up and got some scratches here and there, but look, here's the deal. This was a working, like, technician used, making money toolbox. This thing wasn't for show. It was keeping all my stuff in one place, keeping it safe, and just keeping everything organized the way I need it. But you know, she's had a little rough life. She's moved around between some shops. But so as you can see, it's a Mac Tools Tech 1000. I bought the bottom in 1995, late 95, early 96, somewhere around there. I got the top for it maybe 6 months later, something like that. So I guess we'll just kind of start at the top and work our way down. All right, so let's see here what we got. We got our headlamp, which is pretty cool if you land underneath a race car, can't see and stuff. Got pictures of my kids. Funny thing is, this tell you how old this deal is. That's my daughter when she was probably, I don't know, 11 or 12. She'll be 21 this December. And that's my son. He just won a Pinewood Derby race. And he's, I don't know, 6 or 7 there maybe, and he's 15 now. So that's how long ago that's been. Got some magnets up here. One thing you'll notice, I used to be, for a while there, I ran a tool truck. I was a gear wrench rep. So some of this stuff is leftovers from that little period of time. Like when I closed up, I bet I had 50 of these magnets still left. That's why I got 4 of them. I kind of gave them away as presents and gifts and stuff just to get rid of them. We have an extra charger for our Milwaukee stuff. These are very important on a race car. There's a whole lot of Allen headed stuff, and these you can actually take them with you, go over to the car, work on what you got to work on, bring the whole thing back, and hang it up. It used to hang off. We used to have a tool cart that had like 90% of what we use day to day. That's why that little piece is on there. And you also see too, like I've made a lot of this stuff, but that there it used to hang on the cart. This thing's kind of cool, although I wasn't planning on showing it to you. This is like a crazy magnet. Like right now, it's not really magnetic. Turn it on, it's like super strong. It's got a bolt in the top. We use this for fab stuff. You can make a little arm to hold something down or what have you. Label maker. We label a lot of stuff. A little bit of our Milwaukee stuff. I think this is 3/8 impact. Our drill, throttle cable parts for the NASCAR. Over here, these are the radio. These are the chargers for our racing radios. These are just for various whatnots. I stole these from my wife, so let's just keep that between me and you. This is just various crap. Back here, I have one drawer that's dedicated to engine stuff, but it's full. I really need to go through this thing and make a little more space, but we have a piston ring compressor. This is an oil squirter for like putting oil on bearings and stuff like that when you're building it. Now this thing here is pretty neat. A lot of you old guys will remember these things. You guys remember these things. I can get it out. Come on, girl. Yeah, this is a ridge reamer. And back in the day, you know, just because you're rebuilding your engine didn't mean you automatically took it to the machine shop and got it bored out. So if you had a little bit of ridge at the top of your bore, you could use this thing here, and it would cut that little bit of ridge out of it. I hadn't used that thing in forever. It's pretty neat. What else we got back there? We have our videotape one of my old races. We have our snap-on, and by the way, I'm really not a snap-on fan. Just kind of worked out that way that I have some of this stuff. Yeah, 1/2-inch digital. It buzzes and vibrates when you hit the torque. It does angles and all that stuff. But for racing stuff, we don't need the angle deal. We just torque stuff with it. But we only use this on like important stuff. All right, so the first couple of drawers are just going to be kind of almost catch-alls. We got some Allen stuff here. This is a big, what's this thing? Yes, a big digital caliper. Honestly, I bought this strictly to measure push rods with, but we use it for a lot of stuff. This is a smaller one. Same deal. Same deal. Some big staplers, some charging cords, razor blades, scissors, hole punch, pain pills when you're sore, odds and ends. A bracket that I made from the starter for my big block on my dually. It's pretty much that. Oh, stud finder. I don't know what that's doing in there. All right, this is really a catch-all drawer. Circle pattern maker, we use this a lot. Various scrapers. We have this long guy here. I forget what they called this thing. It was like a monster scraper or something like that. But we got various scrapers, files, dial caliper. Although I should probably put that up here with the other ones. There. We'll figure out how to place that for you later. This is a tool to put nitrogen in our racing shocks. Scrapers, tubing cutter. There again, it's just kind of tire crayons. Now this is kind of cool. I don't know what the hell that is. This is actually a carburetor adjusting tool, boys and girls. Back in the day, cars had carburetors on them. And you would use this to reach the adjusting screws and all that there for it. All right, so yeah, various brushes and I don't know. We call these diaper pins in the racing world. We'll use these instead of cotter pins on our front end stuff. So if we need to take it apart really fast, we can do that. Some of it we safety wire on, just depends on what it is. All right, over here, what do we have? Okay, another thing too. When I was a working tech, this thing was organized, I mean, to the hilt. It was very organized. But once we got into racing and this thing moved through a few race shops and ultimately to our race shop, and then my guys were working out of it, things got a little bit jumbled up, and I'm kind of just really here lately getting back around to fixing some of this stuff and getting it organized. You'll see that here in a little bit. Metric flex ratcheting wrenches. Those are stubbies back there. Pipe wrenches. What else we got? All right, this drawer is pretty much punches and chisels and Allen wrenches, just loose Allen wrenches. Don't ask me why it's all jumbled up like that. It just is. What's this drawer? Oh yeah, okay. So this is my rear gear building drawer. This is an inch-pound gauge for setting pinion bearing load. This is I think this is a big bearing puller for doing pinion bearings. Yeah. And they got these bearing separators. You can use those in a press. You can use them for anything. But basically, I bought this to pull pinion bearings off. Fix that back. All right, I think this is a carrier bearing puller. Yeah, this is what you pull the bearings off your carrier with. When I was at Ford, right when Explorers with 8.8 rear ends. This is already 2000s. Had problems with whining noises, so we rebuilt a ton of 8.8 rear ends. And then once I got into racing, one of my first jobs was in the engine shop. Shortly thereafter, they found out I could build gears, and then I was working engine shop, gear shop, and then I've been gear specialist for a couple of teams. And then since we've been racing on our own, I've built all my own gears and stuff. Dial indicator for gear stuff. This is a 3/8 torque wrench. Strap on. I put these in here to keep metal filings off of them, but these are just magnetic 90-degree holders, 45-degree holders. What else we got here? Okay, this is an interesting drawer. Back here we got tons of brake parts. You know, back in the day, cars had drum brakes on them. Some of them did, and a lot of these honestly are drum brake tools. So that's what a lot of that stuff is. A lot of stuff hadn't been used in years. This is maybe a little bit interesting. This is left over from my dealership days. I should probably just throw this damn thing away. I don't even need it. This is a fluid sampler. You know, they always wanted you to take samples of fluid and try to upsell people stuff. Yeah, I was never really into that. I had to do it just enough to keep them off my ass, but there again, I'm gonna put this up here. There again, I was never really into that. This is a refractometer for coolant, if you guys know what that is. If you don't, look it up. Every mechanic had a box like this in their toolbox. It's just various plugs and things, and actually that's why I moved that in this. Just various plugs and plugs off and plug off, so when you take parts off cars that leak, you can most likely plug them up and they won't leak all over your floor. And believe it or not, we still use some of this stuff in our racing, in our day-to-day stuff in our racing. Vacuum cap plugs. These are like when we pull an engine out, the big outlet on the bottom of the water pump on like a small block Chevy. That's what these are for. That'll do it as well. Okay, moving over here. I think we did this one. Yeah, did that one. All right. This is one of my electrical drawers. Let's see. This is a power probe. I'm sure you guys know what a power probe is. Man, it took me a long time to get on board with one of these things, but once I got on board with it, I don't know why in the hell I didn't get one sooner. This is really good for doing electrical work. These are for taking pins out of connectors. With this power probe kit, you can actually chase down a short, which is pretty cool. It's got all kinds of adapters. Man, that's a phenomenal tool to use. Here's a little cheap volt-on meter that we had in the pit box for a while. It's a little bit of soldering stuff. Here's another terminal tool kit for taking terminals apart. If you guys saw my last video on wiring, you know, there's not even anything. I'm gonna throw that away. There's even nothing in there. This is my really good DVOM. It's a Blue Point. I haven't turned it on. Man, I've had that thing forever, like since the dealership days. I think it's probably 20 plus years old. And I think this is just a accessory kit. Yeah, this is just some leads and accessories I bought for this power probe. If I'm not mistaken, I lost the pointer for this, and the guy I got it from didn't have just a pointer, but he had this kit and it came with a pointer. And I said, you know what, screw it, let's give it to me. These are these have needles on them and they're alligator clips for doing pinpoint tests on wiring and stuff. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is, you know, from my dealership days, long time ago. What else we got? We saw that drawer. We'll go to this one. All right, this is my engine drawer, and as you can see, it is full. We got a home. This is a height mic for setting your valve springs. This is a deck, a piston stop for when you're degreeing your camshaft in. This is what is this thing? I don't know what this is. I think this is a tool you put on the crank when there's no balancer on a small block Chevy, and you can rotate it with just that. So you don't put a bolt in it, rip the threads out of the crank. This is old school stuff. That's a valve lapper. I couldn't tell you the last time I've used that. This is a really cool tool. This is for putting lock rings and pistons, spiral locks and pistons. I actually did a little small video on that years ago. Degree wheel. These are for pulling spark plug wires loose. Compression gauge. What else is down there? Compression gauge. various adapters for the compression gauge and stuff. These are Noid lights. There again, I couldn't tell you last time I've used these, but basically you unplug your fuel injector and you plug one of these Noid lights into it. And if it blinks while you're spinning it over or while it's running, then you know the injector's getting power. If it's not firing, it's a bad injector. It's a valve spring tool for when the engine's in the car with the heads on it. I think I got one here for when they're not. Yeah, one here when they're not. And I actually got another one for when you're putting your heads together. We'll show you that one in a minute. It's too big to be in here. Various feeler gauges. There's probably 4 sets of feeler gauges in there. These are number stamps for stamping, you know, rod, whatever really, but you know, rods when you take them off, whatever. Oh, external oil gauge, just so when you're like priming an engine. Oh, yeah, it's over here, I think. What did I do with it? Anyway, I got a engine primer for a small block Chevy. So we'll put this on there just to see we got oil pressure and we're priming it. It's just a El Cheapo, you know, automotive store gauge. This is a small, ODB2 reader. This thing was super handy when I was a dealership tech. You didn't have to carry that big scanner around. You could literally put this thing in your pocket. Around here, they do inspections, state inspections, and they have what they call drive cycles that has to be completed before it'll pass inspection. So that's mainly what I use that for, drive cycles. What else? Okay, that's all right. It's that drawer. And this one's kind of a various drawer. A lot of tire type stuff from a lot of it from back in the day. Check this out. Like I still have a ton of these Ford wheel lock keys. I don't know why. I don't even own a Ford, other than the Ford engine in the race car. You know, this is a stitcher for when you patch a tire. Various fittings and stuff. Timing lights, heat sleeves. There's some air tools in here. You're gonna see a few air tools floating around in here, but I also have a thing on the wall over there that holds a bunch of my air tools. 2 sets of drill bits. These are for just kind of normal everyday. They work good, but you know, whatever. Then we have this set that was like super expensive, and when you got to be super precise, these are the ones we use. Some of the smaller ones broke, but these are actually out. We're making some stuff right now. Anti-seize, air chisel. That's for the timing light. This is a brake pressure gauge that we use on a race car. We'll take the bleeder out and screw that into it, and then get the driver to push the brake down, and we can check our brake pressure right at the caliper. Silicone, just various. Oh, temp gun, use that a lot. Flanging tool. If you'll notice, like the drawer liner's all shoved up in the back. I gotta get around to fixing that. Don't know why I haven't yet. That's the engine drawer. This drawer here, another various drawer. This is a rear disc brake tool. These are for doing body work, but really they come in handy for a lot of things. They're sanding blocks, various sizes and stuff. I keep my safety glasses in here. This deal here for putting on decals and stuff. A roll of sanding discs. Some various, and my 3/8 air impact. That actually should be over there on the wall. That's a 3-inch angle grinder deal. Air drill with a hole saw in it right now. All right, big drawer. Okay, I got all my sockets in here, and a few of the things that are missing were lost, but a lot of them's out right now too. We're working on the NASCAR over here behind us. Everything on this side is standard. Everything on this side is metric. I have tons of ratchets, extensions. This is a cam bearing tool for small block Chevy. This is a speed handle. If you're too young to know what a speed handle is, ask your dad. We used to use these a ton building engines back in the day. We got 12-point, 6-point, quarter, 3/8, half, all the normal stuff. Same over here on the metric side. Got some metric swivels. What is this guy? I think this is all. I think think this is all spark plugs. Yeah, all spark plug tools, or spark plug sockets. We use this a little bit on the race car stuff. Actually, we use it a lot. I mean, change spark plugs in it. This is a ratchet buddy. When you're trying to finger a bolt in with a socket, you can put one of these ratchet buddies on it. I lost the 3/8 one, the one you use the most. You just take those out of that box and get rid of it. This is for when you run Dodge NASCAR engines and you have to torque the lower head bolts. Fun fact. These are just big sockets, mainly for CV axles back in the day, CV axle nuts. Some of these are four-wheel drive type stuff. This actually does, some of those are big. This one here does the rear hubs on my dually. I bought it specifically for that. This is a wide 5 hub nut socket. These are for the screw and ball joints we use on the race cars. Yeah. See, like I said, I was a gear wrench guy back in the day, and these were just some stuff that I ended up not selling. I just had left over. Ended up not selling whatever, and I just threw them in here. I may need them one day, I may not. I keep all my swivels and adapters and stuff over here. We have a, what's that right there? Half to 3/8, half to quarter, quarter to 3/8, half to 3/8, half swivel, 2 3/8 swivels, and a quarter swivel. And I buy the good swivel deals because cheap ones just break eventually. Even the good ones break eventually. You're trying to buy some time. This is my standard wrench drawer. Nothing too crazy. We got some ratcheting wrenches, line wrenches, smaller ones, adjustables, odd ones. There again, I want to read, like, see this carpet right here? I started putting carpet in every drawer in this thing, and I've gotten some, like, it's actually in the socket one. This is the one I did first. I want to get them all done like that, but working on it. This is just another BS catch-all drawer. It's just got various crap in it. I actually cleaned it out a couple of days ago. I'm trying to make some room to put some other stuff in here. Now, another thing too, like I said, I was a tool dealer for a while. So some of the like nice big wrench sets and a fuel pressure tester, a lot of that stuff I sold on my tool deal to drum up some capital for it. This is my screwdriver drawer. Basically, we have straights, Phillips, Torx, nut drivers, pretty much any kind of cutter. You know, these things here. Yeah. All pry bars. Although I have a huge pry bar in that socket drawer I didn't show you. This is for putting bands on CV axle boots. This is interior stuff, picks. That's a flexible magnet. Various stuff. Okay, this is my other electrical drawer, and this one is a mess. This is the one I keep. I just did a video the other day on wiring. I just threw the stuff back in here. This one I keep my strippers, crimpers, battery cleaner, anything small and electrical, mostly goes in here. There again, I gotta go through that thing one day. There's a test light in there somewhere. Oh, you know what? Let me get this out. This might be kind of, you might think this is cool. Here it is. This is a test light for testing airbags, or if you're gonna be working around airbags. This one won't spark and set one off. We don't have a lot of airbags on race cars, so I don't really use it anymore. What else we got? Okay, my plier drawer. Got all my Stork pliers. These are this kind. The straight ones, I got a 45 one, smaller ones. This is various pliers, snap ring pliers. I've got a ton of dang vice grips, and that's just a few of them. Robo pliers, there for a while they were popular. Various channel lock pliers. This is the first pair of pliers I ever bought, and I still have them. I bought these when I was probably 16, 17 years old. I'm 50 now. Yeah, we're kind of going through here drawer by drawer and trying to get them all organized. These are some of the things that like Chase and I made. They're just little dividers. Like this drawer's already got carpet in it too. Okay, this is my puller drawer. Keep various pullers, balancer puller parts. This is for doing steering wheels and JMRs. This is the other valve spring compressor tool I was telling you about. When you're first putting the heads together, that's the one we use for that. But it was too big to fit in that other drawer. All right. We're about done. We are about done, I promise. We're on the back side. Okay. These are all clutch, what do you call it? Clutch alignment tools. This is the one we use on the race car all the time. It's 26 spline GM. This is some air conditioning stuff, seal drivers, taps and dies, tap sockets, various oil filter wrenches. Boy, this guy here was handy back in the day when I was working on regular cars. Probably hadn't used the thing in 15 years. These are transmission plugs. When you pull it out, you put those in the back. All your fluid don't come out of them. This is, pretty sure it's a fuel line disconnect tools. Yep, fuel line disconnect tools. And this is for taking the fuel sending gimmick at the top of a lot of gas tanks. Probably hadn't used that thing in forever. All right, let's see this one here. Okay. Hammer drawer, and this isn't even, this might be half of the hammers that I have. I'm a hammer guy. I love hammers. And hey, I keep a lot of these bearing races and crap to hit on, press on, you know, whatever. Use them for various other things. This drawer down here. There again, it's a little bit of everything. This is a gear lube pump, belt sander, right angle drill, grinder, skill saw, can't even talk. There again, just very accu level deal for the race car. Okay, I got my little stool and sat down for this last one here. This is the one I keep a lot of big boxes in that don't fit anywhere else. I used to have a lot more of these. Like I said, I sold various things on the tool truck. This is a radio disconnect tool. We're disconnecting, getting various radios out of cars. There again, dealership days. Probably haven't used that thing in forever. We'll start at the front. This is a vacuum gauge set. And you can use this for a little bit of everything, and I have. It's been a good one. I think these are pass-through sockets, if I'm not mistaken. Pass-through sockets, yeah. So you can put these sockets in this special ratchet, and they're open on the inside. So if it's a stud or whatever, it passes right through there. Those are pretty handy. This is a big Torx bit set, if I'm not mistaken. Torx and some Allens as well. Yeah, all Torx bits, inverted Torx or E-Torx. Some Allens. I think these are standard. I don't think they're metric. Yeah, they're standard. These are standard. That's pretty cool-ish. All right, brake piston pushback tools when you do brake jobs. There's another one down here. That was a dual piston. This is for single piston. We'll just throw that over there. I think this is a, what is this? Flaring tool. We use this a fair amount with our race stuff. Yeah, flaring tool. What else we got? I actually used this the other day on my wife's Jeep. It's a snap-on version of an airlift. Basically, when you put a radiator in or a water pump or whatever, anytime the coolant system is basically empty, you can put this guy on it. It pulls the system down to a vacuum. Well, number one, you can close it off, and if it holds a vacuum, then you don't have any more leaks. Number two, while it's under vacuum, you can put this in here and I used to use like a 5-gallon bucket with 50-50 mixed coolant. You stick that down in it, open the little valve, and it fills it up. It takes, you know, there's no air in it. Like literally you can do this, put the radiator cap on it, go drive it. There's no standing there waiting on thermostats to open and all that craziness. What is this guy? I think this is more, yeah, it's just more Torx bits. This is, I don't know what this is. What is this guy? What's this guy? Oh, power steering puller. Yeah, power steering puller set. Yeah. Hadn't used that in a while. Got a Dremel somewhere. I thought that would have been my Dremel, but it's not. This thing's kind of neat. Probably don't have one of these unless you worked in a dealership at some point. This is a plastic rivet. There we go. This is for doing plastic rivets. They look like, there we go. They look like a regular rivet, except they're plastic. And you have to have this little guy right here to you guys that work in dealerships. I'm sure you've seen these. They hold a ton of trim pieces on and splash panels behind on the inside of fenders and stuff. You know, just all kind of whatnot like that. Let's see here. There, and then this guy back up here, and then this guy back here, and the brake tool gimmicks will put those back in there later. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But that's pretty much it, guys. It took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But that is the JMR Toolbox. That thing's been through a ton of dealerships, race shops. It's I've seen that thing strapped down to the back of a rollback way more than one time. That thing's probably been on the back of a rollback probably 6 or 8 times. It's been a good toolbox. It's solid. When I was selling tools, I almost sold it to a guy. I'm kind of glad I didn't. Well, hope you enjoyed the little toolbox tour there. And hey, we'll see you next time.